first started here in Melissa was really nothing for like wrestling, but since like Coach Pierce came in, and we started going up, and like we had a lot of ranked wrestlers and stuff like that.
At 5th place last year, I feel like it got to some of us. Definitely me, it got to me a lot. Just working hard. Like I bet no one else in this country works as hard as us.
We're drilling really hard, sweating, sometimes bleeding and stuff like that, but we get through it, and it's really good.
Pushing each other is tough, it's physical, the environment is amazing, right? You know, we always feeding off each other, right? We always hold each other, want each other accountable, right? There's, you know, if someone's having a bad day, hey, our teammates are there to pick us up and, you know, get 100% out of us every day at practice. He always says this, like, what we do in the practice match is what we're gonna do out there, right? So the way he coaches, high intensity, high pace, but very controlled, very smooth, very controlled, not out of control. That's what he is out there when the competition, the lights are bright, and when the lights are on.
There to make sure his team is practicing every day with purpose is third-year head coach Oliver Pierce. He demands a lot out of his guys, but it's because he sees the potential of this group.
I think he's the best coach I've ever had. You know, I've lived all over the country. You know, I've lived in New Jersey, Oklahoma, Texas, and he's a combination of them all. You know, he focuses really on the little things, but then he gives you the freedom to wrestle your own style. Like a lot of coaches, it has to be their way or the highway. He's not like that. You know, he really opens it up for me, and I really love that about him.
Coach Pierce is amazing, man. He's the best in the business for sure. You know what I mean? He's a great coach, you know, great leader. You know, he holds us accountable every day, right? He's tough on us. He brings the best out of us, right? If we're slacking off a little bit here and there, he knows we have more. He's going to get into us and make sure we get more. And then at the end of the day, he's going to love on us too.
I got introduced to him in like 6th grade at youth wrestling, so I started to learn. He fresh out of college, he knew a lot. But as soon as high school started, like there was a different intensity, and I loved it. Just something about him. He's like the best I've ever had. He's the best in Texas without a doubt.
It was really tough. Like it's really intense, and he's really focused on like the small details and stuff like that. And so I don't know, that's just what's really important in wrestling. It's just the small details, and he gets really into that.
A Texas high school standout at Allen and former Arizona State wrestler, Coach Pierce can relate to his kids because he has been in their shoes.
He's a great partner for me as well, which is great to have in the room. I mean, nobody in the country has the type of partner I have. I mean, he lost 2-1 in college to the 2-time NCAA champion, so like that's on the level he's at. And yeah, it's just great having him.
We all have those same goals he had in high school. So having a mentor and having a coach like that, you know, everything he says, we're going to listen, we're going to be all ears, we're going to be 100% locked in and engaged, you know what I mean? And because we have those same goals. We have those same aspirations and dreams like he did, is to go win a state championship, go win a state championship as a team, and then not just do it once, go do it again.
I had a lot of success in high school, and then I was average. You know, I would win 2 matches, lose 1 match, and so I think maybe that helps me in a way that I did take some losses in college. Certainly had some ups and downs, but I think some of those losses might allow me to look at things a little bit differently as far as like what could I have done differently as I was transitioning from high school to college that would have allowed me to be a better wrestler long term instead of kind of stalemating across. So I mean, I would say the answer is I just tell them that stuff. There's no secrets about like, here's what we were doing. It's all, if you take emotion out of it, you just try to be as logical as you can. Here was mistakes that I made, or here were things that maybe I was successful at. Here are some things that you need to think about. You need to do these in order to be a better wrestler. There's no in between. It's either you do it or you don't do it.
I didn't know him what he did until like 8th grade, and I was shocked. It was a lot.
He tries his best to get you some wins.
He knows what it takes to be at the top, and I think he sees me push myself every day, which is great to see, but he's leading me along the way, and it's just great to have him to push me and put me through stuff at the end, mental stuff. That's what my dad always brought up throughout my life, and he pushes me a lot in that way as well.
Leading the Melissa wrestling squad is Angelo Ferrari, a 3-time Ironman champion and 2-time defending state champion, who was recently tabbed the #1 pound-for-pound wrestler in the United States.
I see pressure as a privilege. I mean, I want pressure. Put more pressure on me. That's the way I see it. You know, Ironman, everybody wants me to lose, but I embrace that. You know, that's what drives me really in the wrestling room. Whenever I'm pushing myself, when I visualize myself down by 1 point with 30 seconds left, doing drills like that, you know, I picture that in my mind and I push it.
In practice, he works really, really hard and he's really focused and locked in. And when I watched his #1 match, he was really loose. And then once he got into that mat, it was just he was locked in.
Embracing the high expectations, this Melissa wrestling team has just one goal in mind.
Win state championship.
We know it, but it's never talked about. We haven't proved anything yet.
Winning to me is a skill. It's not, you know, it's not black and white. It's how can you know, there's strategy and then there's skill development of your wrestling. And so, you know, at the end of the year, you might focus on your strategy a little more, which is just skill. And so, and we just have belief. We work too hard.
There it is, there it is. Attaboy!
Just because we know we're the #1 team in the state, so we know everybody's gonna try to come get at us.